Next up on copycat.com, homemade refried beans. We're gonna make refried beans using a regular pot and on the stovetop. Now I'm actually gonna start with dried beans. These are a wonderful way to make an inexpensive meal. Beans only cost about 89 cents a pound, or they can be cheaper than that. It's what they cost where I am locally. If you buy them in bulk, you can get them for even a better price. So refried beans aren't beans that are actually like deep fried or anything. They're just cooked and there's a little bit of oil that's added to them for a bit of extra flavor. Now I'm actually gonna use bacon grease right here. This is just rendered from whenever I bake bacon. I always save it and I use it to cook with later. You could use lard. Lard is also traditional. You can find lard in most grocery stores. It is sold right next to the shortening and other cooking oils. If you want to go vegetarian, you can use just a regular vegetable oil like canola oil, corn oil, or whatever you like. Also in this recipe, we're going to use a little bit of onion. I have white onion and I have one bunch of cilantro. Now I've separated out the stems from the leaves. We're actually going to saute the white onion and the cilantro together. I always like to use white onion if I can. I think the flavor is a little bit more delicate and it tends to be a little bit sweeter than yellow onion. We're also going to use a couple of seasonings. We're going to use ground cumin. This gives us just a little bit of an earthy flavor that's really, really nice. And for a little bit of spice, I'm gonna use some chipotle chili dried powder. And this is a wonderful thing. This is a dried jalapenos that are smoked. Incredible flavor, not a lot of heat, but a really nice deep smoky flavor. So definitely worthwhile picking this up. So let's go ahead and get started. We're going to saute together our white onions and cilantro stems just till they come transparent. So in here goes just a couple tablespoons of bacon grease. All right, so the next thing you want to do is you want to make sure you clean your beans very well. Sometimes there's little rocks or pebbles or bits of stone in your beans, so just spread them out. I generally like to do it on a baking sheet. And just kind of spread them out and see if you have any stones. All right, you can see right here, I've actually found a couple of either dirt, debris, or rocks. So we're gonna go ahead and push those off to the side because we don't want those. And you can see here's another. So I'm gonna add the beans in now. And I'm gonna add enough water to cover these up by about 2 inches. So now these are gonna take a couple hours to cook, so we're gonna cook them on kind of a low medium heat, and we'll come back when they're done and I'll show you how to finish out these refried beans. Our beans have finished cooking and it's time to go ahead and turn them into mashed up beans. So we haven't salted our beans yet, so we're gonna go ahead and add a good teaspoon of salt. You may wanna add a little bit more. I'm going to use an immersion blender to blend these up. You may wanna use potato masher or a meat pounder, whatever you have on hand will work. So I am going to go ahead and mix these up and I'll show you what they look like when I'm all done. So now it's time to taste these beans, but before we do, you know, you can find this recipe on copycat.com. That's C-O-P-Y-K-A-T. I have this recipe and I have one for how to prepare these in a pressure cooker as well. So whatever you have on hand, we can show you how to make your own homemade refried beans. Also, be sure to subscribe to this channel so you don't miss our next recipe. And be sure to drop me a comment down below of what you'd like to see next. So we'll go ahead and take a little taste here. Still nice and piping hot. These taste really nice. You can get little bits of cilantro in here. I can get just a hint of the chipotle powder, and the cumin adds a really nice touch. So I hope you enjoyed this recipe, and I hope you give this one a try. Thanks for watching.